Break out the brie. We're having a party. Brie is the perfect cheese for entertaining, and I've got 3 delicious appetizers that are all very different and way more extravagant than just slapping some jelly on a wedge of cheese. I'm gonna start with cranberry brie pull-apart bread. We know that brie tastes the best when it is warmed up, and that's what's about to happen. Get yourself a loaf of crusty bread. This is just an Italian bowl. You could use a sourdough, any sort of like just loafy, crusty bread is all you need. And we're gonna take it and we're gonna make slits in it diagonally, both ways, just don't cut all the way through. That's gonna hold our cheese. So you're creating these little squares, and this is what you'll end up pulling out. What's great about this type of recipe is that you don't need any like extra little special dippers or crackers because it's a self-contained, you know, chip and dip type situation right here. So we've created all our little nooks and crannies here, and that's what we're gonna slide our cheese and cranberries in. But first, we're gonna make a little flavorful butter. Melt some butter, get some fresh herbs, rosemary and thyme into our melted butter, along with some honey, salt, and pepper. Okay, so I'm gonna drizzle about half of this in the nooks and crannies, and then I'll save the rest for the top. This way we get flavor all throughout. Now for the star of the show. You just need about 8 ounces of brie for this. And you're gonna cut this into slices and then stick the slices in all the cuts that we made. And listen, the rind is okay to eat, so we are not cutting that off. Those are usable pieces. All right, so I've gone all in one way, and then you still have a little leftover cheese, so you'll go kind of fill in some of those empty spots. And now we have to do the cranberries, so just some dried cranberries. You want these to be scattered around more like confetti. All right, so I'm gonna place this on a baking sheet that's covered with either foil or parchment, and then we're gonna drizzle it with the rest of our herb honey butter. 350 for just about 20 to 25 minutes. Oh yeah. There's nothing you have to do. I mean, now it's just ready. Totally make that in advance, and then you just serve it. Then you could take some more herbs if you did go out and purchase them just for this recipe. This is one of those things that just looks more impressive and looks like it took a lot more time than it actually did. And the whole thing is just like a bread bowl of perfect bites. You get the honey, you get all those herbs. Of course, the star of the show, the brie. It's buttery, it's sweet, and savory. This might be your new favorite baked brie. This next recipe is not only a recipe, but like a brilliant hack. We're going super savory here. This is a garlic butter brie. Did you know you could bake the brie in the box in which it comes? Okay, so unwrap it and then put it back in its little case. And then you're just gonna score the top a little bit so that the flavoring gets all inside. Then we're just gonna make a little garlic butter. You can be the judge on how much garlic you wanna put in here. All right, then I'm just gonna pop this in the microwave to melt and flavor together. Okay, this is so flavorful right here. I'm gonna add in a little salt and pepper. All right, then we're just gonna spoon this over the top. Just gonna give it a little zhuzh to start working the butter down. This goes into the oven just until it's all gooey and melty. 350, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe the easiest one. See the jiggle? That's what you want. Now, he did come open a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna put it in the top. Serving and cleanup could not be any easier. Listen, the French know best when it comes to brie, and they just serve it simply like loaded on a baguette. So you could just put sliced baguette here, or I just bought some of the ones that are already toasted and turned into crostini. Okay, so put your bread in. Now you can decorate it. You could do any herb you want here, really. You could do parsley, basil. And then I'm also gonna kick it up with a little bit of crushed red pepper. Ooh. Going the garlicky, buttery, savory route, A++. I will not have another bite without a glass of wine. This is like the perfect dinner. We could stop here, but we won't. All right, my final trick is going to be baked brie wrapped in pastry, because that is by far the most popular way to serve brie at a party, I think. But we're not just gonna slap some jelly in the center and call it a day. How about caramelized onion, bacon, and fig jam brie? Long name, minimal ingredients. We're talking about 5 ingredients here. Starting with our onions. We're going to get those super sweet and caramelized. Let them go, medium low, stir occasionally. Takes a little bit of time, but something you can totally do in advance. While that happens, we'll cook some bacon. So keep it simple, into the oven. When I do like brie and pastry, I like to put my fillings in the center of the brie versus sitting on top and then wrap it like that, because that way the pastry stays nice and dry and it doesn't get too soggy. I like to cut my brie in half, and I put my fillings on the inside. And then for the pastry, puff pastry is where you want to go here because it's like super indulgent and rich. So I'll put the bottom half in. I'm going in with fig spread. There's lots of different varieties. You can use whatever kind of jelly you like or have on hand. You could do like an apple jam, something like that. You do you. Onions, nice and caramelized. Purely optional, but this is a way you can kind of finish them off, especially if you have any remnants on the bottom of your pan. Just add in like a teaspoon or two of balsamic vinegar and it'll just take them up a little notch, but this is optional. All right, and these will just go right on top of our jam. So it's gonna kind of blend in with that fig jam and be so, so good. I'm gonna add in a little bit of cracked pepper, and then we'll just put our bacon right on top. You do want it crispy because everything else in this situation is soft. We like texture. Okay, bacon. And then I'm gonna spread just a little more fig jam on the top piece, just to glue it all together. Now we're gonna take our pastry, wrap it up like a present. And I always turn it on its side, put the seam side down just so it's a little prettier on top. You could, you know, cut little shapes like leaves or hearts or whatever and put it on top. We're not gonna be fancy today. Then you wanna brush it with some egg. A little water loosens it up, makes it, you know, really light. We're not trying to have any scrambled eggs on the top. All right, and then just a very light coating on the brie. This goes in 375 till it's all golden brown and beautiful. It could fully be made to that stage well before your party starts, and then just pop it in the oven right before they come. This looks gorgeous. It is starting to ooze a little bit, but she fine, y'all, she fine. My daughter insists on grapes every time we have brie, so I'm gonna decorate the platter a little bit. I just like a really like sturdy party cracker. Definitely carbs on carbs. That's good looking. That is good looking. This one has it all. You know, the first one had our like sweet moment. The next one was all savory. This is the perfect combination. You get that salty bacon. The way those onions that have natural sweetness though blend in with that fig jam. Y'all. So sweet, delicious, buttery, rich from the pastry and the cheese. So damn good. Hot, gooey, rich, and creamy. Who doesn't want brie at their next party? Brie cheese is so versatile. It lasts forever in the fridge. There's no reason for not keeping this on hand all holiday season long. If you try one of these recipes, please let me know. I love hearing your comments. Only the good ones though.